Kitch.
Hello.
Well, Kitch, listen, you made it. You made it back from Vegas. That's a good sign. You're at a hotel in Toronto, recovering. Maybe with COVID. We'll find out. We'll let 20,000 people at the Raptors game know tonight. Deno also back from Vegas. However, we'll be joining. Well, we think we'll be joining, but maybe midway through the pod. So we'll see. We'll see what happens there.
Great.
Well, that's your cue. I cued you in. That was your cue to sort of say hello to everybody.
Oh, hello, David.
All right, we'll talk about your Vegas trip. Speaking of the devil, I think here comes Deno. We'll talk about your Vegas trip shortly, but let's start with the meat of what this podcast is all about, and that's our beloved / severely broken / wounded / injured Toronto Raptors. All right, so here I'm going to cue it up. Last few games been a little rough. We snuck out a W against our nemesis, the Pistons, which obviously I didn't. That's the one game in this disaster I didn't bet because I didn't think they could beat them. And so that was costly. However, it was a nice little bounce back win with a very, very bizarre set of lineups and bench rotations and whatnot because we had no choice. So why don't you just give me?
And we beat the Houston Rockets too since the last pod too. We beat the Houston Rockets and the Detroit Pistons.
Yeah, well then we lost to Oklahoma City and so we're the bottom feeders. We're 50-50 with the bottom feeders. So where are you at with this injury / illness plague that's hitting us and how do we survive it?
Well, before we go in, I just look. I was in Vegas watching all these games. So when you go to Vegas, you kind of want your team to, because you're going to bet on your team because you're there with your buddies and you're going to want to cheer for them. And the first game we got a booth, got our own special seating area, got our own special TV to watch the Raptors in the OKC game. We were never ever. It seemed like we were ever in that game. And I don't think OKC could play any better than that. They couldn't miss in that game. I actually like the makeup of that team. I'm watching these guys. I'm thinking, wow, it's like SGA is solid. That rushing at what's his name, Pokavuski or Poku?
Yeah, Poku's.
He was
better this year.
He made us look like children out there. And then I like Dort, like the Canadian combination of SGA and Dort. I like that squad. So I was impressed by them, and I think we got a game where they just played lights out. We played mediocre, and it wasn't there. Indiana was a stinker. Indiana was a tough one to watch. We teased ourselves in the first half. Of course, I bet the first quarter and lost. Then I bet the first half and won. And then I decided to bet the game and lost. So that was a.
All right, hey, let's save our gambling stories for the gambling segment. Okay?
So that was a tough one. That was a bad loss. And
well, let's talk about that.
Bench didn't show up. I didn't.
Let's talk about that game for a second. Let's talk about the Indiana game for a second because they did come out of the gates pretty well. It was a decent first half, a really good second quarter. What were they up? I think they were up 11 at the half, something like that. It was a significant lead. And then
I can tell you they were down 4 after the first quarter. I can tell you that.
Yeah, they had a great second quarter. And then next thing you know, we were up 7, I think, going into the fourth in that game. I think we were it was the fourth quarter. It was the first and fourth quarters that did us in, but it did in that game. It was like, if we continue to have no Pascal, no Freddie in these tight games, oh my God, are we going to struggle down the stretch? Because we've got nobody who can knock it down or get their own shot. It is amazing. It reinforced that in order to be successful, you have to have at least one guy who can create their own shot when a shot is needed. Like that, it was so obvious in that game. And I'm sitting there going, oh. And then, even the Pistons game, I don't think we had that down the stretch. Just the Pistons weren't very good. And they could have won that game, the Pistons, had they knocked down a couple more shots. So, it's a little scary right now. Deno, welcome.
Yeah. The Indiana game, just checking the stats, we were outscored 36-14. Now, a lot of that came late in the game for those that watched right to the end. It was a back-to-back, which everyone always says, on a back-to-back, bet first half, and then bet against your team kind of second half. But,
Deno, excuse me. I've talked about this. I don't want to hear the words bet against your team when it comes to our Raptors. We don't do that. We just don't do it. I don't allow it. I don't do it.
Orso does it.
Yeah,
yes, Orso. He came clean. He told me bet Indiana in the car ride home from the airport. Didn't tell me at the game. Didn't tell me there.
He told me during the game. during the game. I said, don't tell Kitch. Don't tell.
Orso's got all kinds of that douchiness in him, for sure, for sure. That's gross. That's you know what? By the way, we'll talk about your little pub crawl, the Orso pub crawl too in a minute. That also disturbing.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So sorry, Down. I interrupted.
No, that's it.
Oh my, what a lively bunch I have today. Of 2 days, the 2 day fucking Vegas.
We're tired. We're tired.
Jesus Christ. All right, listen. So we got the Pistons, much needed win. It takes us to our first 15 game tranche.
So the real tranche. Okay.
Yeah, the real tranche. The first 15 games, 8-7. Let's get your reaction. 8-7, first 15 game tranche.
Well, what we said at the beginning of the year, and it's proven true. Like, we have to be healthy to get our over bet for the season, to get decent playoff spot. We have to be healthy. And what's proven these last 3 or 4 games when we're not healthy, we're not a great bunch. Like the Detroit game, it was great to see some of the guys like your boy finally played a game, Banton, after Chris. I was ready to sell him for a roll of tape.
Hey, we're going to talk about him in the next segment. Just a second. Don't jump on the Banton train.
Jesus. Like, we can't talk about anything. You're cutting off on talk about anything.
Just stay within the confines.
So I would say the problem is that the health is an issue for us. We're not the only NBA team facing that, but that's our recipe for success is staying on the court.
Deno 8-7, first 15 games.
Yeah, I'd say injuries have definitely hurt. If I look at the standings, like we're in 6th, and what always scares me is when you look below you, you got Philadelphia, Miami, just slowly creeping up. We all know they're going to be top 4 guys, like I assume top 4, and then it's like
top 4 or 5, yeah.
Yeah, and when you start looking ahead of you, and we talk about the start of the season, it's like the East is deep, right? Like I look ahead. Okay, Washington Wizards aren't going to be there, but Cleveland's going to be there. Atlanta's looking really good. Like 2 years ago, they were conference finals. Milwaukee and Boston. Like, how do we get the top 6? It's going to be.
Here we go. Welcome to my world of the glass being half empty.
Right, but if we were healthy, I think we're 10-5 if we're healthy. But
9-6 for sure. We're gonna get one of those 2 games if we've our full squad. But I mean, we can't get into this if we were healthy. I mean, that's every team across the league. I mean, hopefully we're getting the injury bug out of the way early, and we're going to be healthy for the better part of the rest of the season, because you have to assume there'll be teams like the Celtics who've had limited to no injuries yet, like that they're going to go through it. Like, you have to assume it's going to balance itself out in a regularly or normal injury year. Like, of course, the other side of that coin is this could be the beginning of just an injured year, right? I mean, who's to say that Siakam comes back healthy, doesn't get hurt again? Like, obviously, he is the key to all of this.
So he's our chief scorer is injured. So that's his, like Tatum's not injured, and Embiid's not injured, Durant's not injured. Like, so if other teams, I don't know other teams have their injuries, but if that key guy is injured, that's a big swing factor for each team, for every team out there.
No. Should we talk about Barnes, or is that the next segment?
Next segment.
I know.
Word association. Yep. Don't worry. Hey, see, you guys, we're on the same page here. You should know what my word association is going to do.
I know about 3 of them already, for sure.
Yeah, just hang on to it. Just hang on to it.
It's a good segment. Well done, Bert.
Well, listen, I don't know. To your point, and this is sort of my fear with the Raps this year, because the East is deep. You can't be losing those Indiana games and the Oklahoma games. Like, you have to split those games, right?
Yeah.
That's key for us to get that. I don't care what the injury status is. We have to be splitting those types of games. Worst case scenario. The East is tough, and I think if we are healthy for the majority, then I think a 5 or 6 seeds probably still realistic at least 47 wins. And that's probably what this team is, because I must admit I'm a little bit I get it. When you watch that team, like, we have replicas of the exact same player, right? We have 6, 7, 8 guys that are all 6'7" or more, long arms, supposedly good defenders, which we're going to talk about that in a second too. And that's our style of play. But what that generally has equated to is we don't have a ton of natural scoring ability, a ton of shot makers, that sort of thing. So, like, I get it. I'm not saying I disagree with that's not the prototype of an NBA basketball team, but this team itself in its current form is not going to be much better than a 45 win team because I just don't think, again, I'm a broken record. I just don't think we can score the basketball enough when we need to get away with it.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I keep thinking back to that Atlanta game where Kitch, was that the game you were at where like their defense was that game, or can't remember, where they just had that full out awesome game.
Philly.
And yeah, it was a
Philly
Philly
game.
game.
Philly.
Yeah.
Like they had 2 or 3 games in a row where their defense, like it was like playoff defense. And that's when your team's healthy, you're used to each other. Then all of a sudden you lose 1 or 2 guys, you don't know what's going on. Like, again, we always talk about last year. The first thing that goes is your defense.
Oh my!
When you bring in these new guys or like a rookie or something, like, oh my God, it's a disaster.
So that is a great point. Like, I don't think I ever really appreciated that until you actually see, and then you hear about it across the league too. Like you've heard about it with the Warriors. You know, when they talk about their second unit coming in, the Warriors' first 5 is the best 5 in the league, right? On offense and defense.
Yep.
As soon as they go to the bench, it just falls off a cliff. And I think what we've shown a little bit here too is that, you start to bring in the Malakis, the Thad Youngs, the Otto Porters, who we're going to talk about him in a second too.
I knew he'd be a topic.
Fuck, Otto fucking Porter. Are you kidding me? Talk about money down the drain. Jesus. I don't mean the contract. I mean mine. This past 4-game stretch when we started to play. You bring those guys. Clearly, you just lose it on the defensive end. Is the first thing that goes, and all of a sudden now, Jesus, we go up. We go from being a pretty solid defensive team, getting stops, to now you're just giving the floodgates are open, and then we can't score to match it, and it's a recipe for losing games.
Yeah. It's a totally different team the last 3 or 4 games what we saw in the first 6 or 7 games this season for sure.
All right, let's not leave you guys in suspense any longer here with our word association coming up. Now, we are gonna start with Scottie Barnes, but Scottie Barnes. However, I'm gonna give you some stats. So in the last 10 games, okay, I'm breaking them out into the first 5 of the last 10 games and the second 5. So the first 5 basically were with Pascal. Here's Scottie: 16, 7.2, and 5. So 7.2 rebounds, 5 assists, 16 points a game. His last 5 games: 12, 6, 4.5. Down across the board. Kitch, go ahead.
Yeah, he's getting more minutes now too. So I there's always the fear in the NBA, and it's proven itself, is this sophomore lull that these guys get. And there's a lot of players out there that have had a great rookie year, had a mediocre second year, because maybe other teams have started to figure them out, and maybe they haven't quite adapted to the game fully yet. But I'm a believer in Scottie. I still think he can figure this out. I don't think this is a long-term slump with him. I do think that he's key to being on the floor when we win. So I'm definitely not crapping on Scottie here. We're just going through a bit of a lull with him, and I think one of these games you're going to have a nice bounce back. He's going to get 24 in one of these games in the near future, and we're going to say, yeah, there's the old Scottie. Remember,
Deno?
Yeah, I think I'm trying to think of the correlation with Siakam being out, right? Like Siakam double teams, gives him more floor. Like, think of the lineup right now. Like, if you really go shut down Barnes, who's coming at you hard, like who's he passing to, right? So I think there's a correlation there. I think there is some of this second year thing, but like that last game, how many shots did he miss from like 4 feet, like 6 feet? Like, he is money from that. So he just lost his confidence a bit, but yeah.
Deno, hang on. Deno, who's he passing to? He's passing to the MVP OG. OG MVP.
Yes.
Pass to him.
Well,
Yes, exactly.
But to your that's a good point though. I don't know that teams. Listen, Scottie's still never shown me anything from an offensive weaponry point that he is, on the teams, the opposing teams whiteboard saying we got to lock this guy down. I just haven't seen that from him yet. Listen, I'm concerned, and I'll tell you why, because I think you're right about the sophomore thing. But even before, when Pascal was playing, and I agree, the Pascal thing is obviously huge, right? He spaces the floor. Pascal was averaging 7.5 assists a game too, right? So he's getting guys easy looks. So again, there's a huge Pascal thing here. But I don't know that this version of Scottie Barnes looks a lot different than last year's version of Scottie Barnes. He seems very similar in what he brings to the table. So I don't know that he's made any kind of jump, and I don't know that he's added anything to his game. So I am a little bit worried about where he's at. I think confidence is a big thing too. Dano, you're right. He looked like he was lacking a lot of confidence. I would even say more than just the last game. He just doesn't. His last few games, he has not looked himself. And then if you watch him, and we'll watch it tonight, Kitch. But if you, I'm not in love with his defense. Like I would not say he's an above average defender. He's smart. Like he understands the concepts. I get that, but like guys blow by him pretty regularly. So yeah, I'm a little bit concerned, and I'm going to say it to you one more time. Durant for Barnes would be a good trade for us.
Here we go.
Yeah. Well, I'm just telling you. You idiots would make that trade.
I am fired up tonight, Deno. I am pounding the Barnes over tonight.
Oh.
That is free money.
Could be triple double. Triple double tonight.
But I'm
triple
telling
double.
you,
I am so happy the Bart came in with that.
I am just telling you, for anyone out there who doesn't think Scottie Barnes can be in a Kevin Durant trade, you're crazy. You're crazy. You don't deserve.
The thing with, and you're right, with Siakam being out, now Barnes is getting the number one cover. So Siakam can beat the number one cover on a lot of teams because he's that skilled on the offensive end. But when you put the number one defensive guy now on Barnes, he's not offensively skilled to beat that number one cover.
No.
He can beat the 2 or 3 cover, which is what he gets when Siakam's on the court. But when Siakam's not there, I think that's his downside.
Well, he's abysmal from 3-point land right now too, but it hasn't stopped.
He's
hasn't stopped from
horrible.
shooting it. He's 6 for 33 in his last 5 games, I think.
Yeah.
6 for 33.
Small sample size. Let's talk about his first 6 games. Let's talk about his first 6 games.
But that's taking 6 threes a game. I don't think he should be taking 6 threes a game to begin with.
No,
That's too many for him.
Bart, they're telling him to shoot him. Like, tell
I know. Listen, I'm not saying he's doing anything. Yeah, that's getting him in trouble. Absolutely, but again, I would just say I don't think he's added much to his game. Like, and to your point, Kitch, he's got a better defender on him all of a sudden, and he doesn't have a lot to answer that with.
Yeah.
Okay,
he's 21. He's 21, guys.
He's young. Yeah, he's
21.
young. Give him some time.
I know, Bart. I know.
Durant, KD. Well, top 7 player all time. But
Durant will be traded this year. I'm pretty sure. Like,
yeah, well, I think so too.
You see last night? That was a disaster.
Oh my God, they were. You know what? And I was out for dinner last night, Deno, and I said to myself before I go out, I loved the Kings. The Kings are hot right now. I love the Kings. Didn't make the bet. God.
Beat down.
It's great. All right, next word association. Same concept here. I'm gonna give you stats. Last 10 games. The first 5 of those 10 games, Gary Trent, 16-2-2. Last 5, obviously not counting Monday night, 12-2-2 in a massive funk. Gary Trent. Daniel, you first.
I didn't realize the funk was that bad because I love Trent. I don't know. You know what? I'm surprised. I thought his numbers would be going up because he had that 120-point game.
He's
sorry. Go on, quick, go.
Yeah, so I'm guessing he's out now with a hip, right? So, and it wasn't a one-time thing that hit him. Like, it wasn't like, he did this on the court in this game and I was out with a hip. I think he's had the hip sort of issue for a little bit here, and it's diminished his game. And they finally say, you know what, we got to sit you. You're getting worse and worse each and every game, and you're scoring less. So I'm gonna blame it on the hip to a certain degree, but that's the only thing I can see different from. Yeah,
his minutes, like I know some games, again, maybe he was hurt, but his minutes, like 20, 24, 30, 33, and 21. So he's averaging like 25 minutes. Like he's a 35, 36 minute guy. Like he's
the Raptors, he's 41, but yeah.
No,
right.
I agree. I'm hoping this was all injury related.
Yeah.
Right. And that just, it slowed him down. And you're right, Dana, but even before we knew anything about an injury, his minutes were being sort of all over the map and he wasn't playing a ton. So who knows? That one, jury's out for me a little bit. I'm hoping it's just the injury comes back and we'll sort of see, because we obviously, one of the few guys who make shots, who create shots.
Yeah.
We desperately need him. And again, I'm not saying even in the starting lineup, but we desperately need to be part of that 6-man rotation where he's getting like 30 to 35 minutes minimum and making shots. Otherwise, we're in trouble.
Bart, I bet you there's a stat. I'll do some research on this from last year. Even if Gary Trent played well, I bet you the Raptors were like 800, like 80% win rate. And when he doesn't, there's these guys that when they hit their 2022 instead of like 12, it's the game changer.
Totally agree. I would love to know the stats with Gary when he's scoring more than 18 points a game for us. I think we're pretty successful.
Yeah.
All right. Next one.
We know this one. Auto.
Fucking, you know what? Not automatic. Otto Porter. Yeah. How about that? What, like our big offseason signing? He's finally, he missed, I think he had a kid, so he missed a couple games, which fair enough. Wasn't playing a ton of minutes. Then gets his chance. WTF, Otto?
He's the worst guy on our roster, I think. I think he looks like the worst player on our entire roster. He doesn't – I don't even know what value – like, do we get him as a shooter? What is his value? Is his value as a shooter? Well, you know what you have to do? You have to actually make a shot this year. Like, his lines have been 6-1. He got 6 points one game. That's his season high. Like, what a disappointment.
You know what Vegas had in that game? 6.5 points.
Yeah.
Oh, I know they did. We were cheering for the under, actually, Bart. We knew you had the
No, we weren't. We weren't.
Yes, we were.
Well, you're hanging out with Orso. Douchey. I get it.
Bart, I'm not like that. I cheer for you.
Thank you.
When I know you get 6.5 and the guy's on the bench with 6.
No.
On the bench for like 10 minutes with 6.
No. And I was like, well, here it was. Like, that was his moment. This was his coming out party.
Oh,
yeah.
And then, absolutely looks lost on defense.
Yeah.
Right?
Horrific defender.
The number of times he ran back with his back to the basketball and had no idea what was going on, and he's like sort of face guarding. I was like, what are you doing?
Can I give you the Detroit stats? 12 minutes, 1 rebound, 1 turnover, 0 points. 12 minutes. Bart, I could do that and get 4 fouls. At least I get 4 fouls.
And you get 2 or 3 turnovers too, Dano.
Oh, for
You
sure.
know what?
5 turnovers. Yes.
Little Johnny Bart, a proud member of the middle school A team basketball. He's a baller now. He's hooping. He's putting down the tennis rackets for a couple weeks to play some ball. And I agree with you, Deno. I believe right now, even after I saw him play 19 seconds via video last night, which I believe was at the very end of the game, because I'm not sure he's starting and or getting meaningful minutes yet. But I liked what I saw from the kid out there, and I agree. If I put Johnny Bart out there in 12 minutes, he's going to get me 1 rebound. He's going to.
Ooh, 1 rebound in the paint, Johnny Bart. I'll give him the shot. Outside shot.
No, I didn't say in the paint. I just
sure.
said Johnny Bart would find a way to get a rebound.
He would bite and claw to get it. He's in.
Right, he would.
He would.
Yeah.
He's a Bart.
Look at the 4 letters on the back of his jersey, Deno. That's right. Of course he would. Of course he would.
Oh, there we go.
Pass it to his brother who could shoot.
Oh,
Yeah.
Bobby, listen. Bobby does not have a basketball shot. It is ugly.
Does he think he has one though, Bart? That's
For
the
sure.
important thing.
Oh my God.
That's the Bart too,
You
right?
go outside and play horse you should see these two. Meanwhile, I'm a former collegiate athlete. Right. And these two, they don't listen to a word I say. Anyways. All right. Last one. And I love it because I think we didn't get the Otto coming out party, but maybe we got the Delano coming out party.
Oh,
For once. I thought we were going to talk about Downton Jr. I didn't know we were going to Delano.
No, Delano. Downton Jr. He played. Oh my God! I need 1 block at the end.
Who was the guy? Who is? I've never heard of that name before.
He does something the next 4 games. We'll talk about him next week. But Delano.
he was on at the end. Like he was on the end of that
I
game.
know. I was shocked by that actually. But you know what? They put him in. They brought him in to put him on Ivy, and what did he do? Locked him down. That's
effective. He was
Yeah.
actually effective. He's better than Porter for sure.
Oh,
I actually went to my phone to find out where's this guy from. Like, who's this guy?
Where's he from, Deno?
I can't remember, but I was like, on my phone going, where, like, was he on our starting roster, guys?
Well, when you go to your phone and
I know
check
that.
it, you gotta
no,
remember.
I had lots of issues. Come
is
on.
he with the? Is he missing link? Parts unknown. Where about parts unknown?
I love the missing.
Oh,
like your-
I
your
love
Ben. I actually think I'm liking Hernan Gomez better than Ben.
Oh,
I'm liking that kid. I think that kid has got good upside. Ben had 1 game. He's played 1 good game. We've given him a ton of chances to play too.
Okay, Kitch, he's from Rhode Island. Yeah, Rhode Island. It's his first season, and he's 25. Like what?
Okay, this is Downton Jr., not Delano. We're all over the map here.
Yeah. Sorry,
Yeah.
Downton
Jesus
Jr.
Christ.
Like how does that happen? His first season, he's 25. Was he over in Europe playing or something?
Well, maybe he's the maybe it's that story of
Street ball.
that her Gomez was on that movie. Maybe he's part of the family. He's the real guy.
We got 2 Hernan Gomez's on our team.
Yeah, could be. Listen, Deno, please give Delano some props here. Kitch doesn't appreciate what we're about to see here. I think he's coming out.
Yeah, like if he starts hitting threes, I'm not saying he's unstoppable, but like he's a big boy. He can go to the hoop. If he's hitting his outside shot,
I agree.
I'm not saying
He's had 1 good game.
6,
There's-
7.
there's- can't tell me the last 10 games. There's times you go, oh my God, what has happened to Benton? He's awful. He was been dreadful up until that last game.
You know what? PJ, producer John, get this piece on TikTok. Delano, a 416 kid, they'll be all over you, Kitch, for this in the talk. They'll be all over you. He's coming out.
Why am I always the guy that has to go on TikTok?
Because you say a lot of stupid shit. That's what people like. You know, TikTok likes that. They like the stupid shit. I've noticed that.
All right, good. I found my calling.
You boys find like when you're watching these games, you assume these guys. I don't know, like Banton. I don't know. Maybe he's like 6'4" or whatever. He's 6'7". Like
I know.
Like if you're a small point guard, like imagine Lowry trying to guard him. It's like guy's got like 6-7 inches on you. Like you should be able to dominate any smaller guard.
I'm under Banton tonight. I'm under Banton.
No, I'm over. Well, assuming he's available on the. They're brutal with that stuff, by the way, about when they put the player stats, like when you can actually bet on them. It's tough to manage. All right, last thing, the Raptors. Then we're moving on. I'm going to tell you their team stats. 15 games in, we're 16th in the league in scoring, 112 a game. 19th in rebounds, 43 a game, which, by the way, I think is a problem for us. Assists per game, 24th at 23 a game. Like that is ridiculously low. 24. Like we're only better than 6 or 7 other teams. It's ridiculous. And then we're 9th in opposing points per game. We're giving up 109.5, which actually that shocked me. That's the 9th best, and people are scoring 110 on us.
Yeah, we were number 1 after about 7 games for points, or sorry, number 2.
So it'll be interesting to see when we get Siakam back. Freddie back at if we get the full complement. We get our 8 rotation guys. It'll be interesting to see what those stats are in 15 more games.
Yeah,
if they get back in those 15 more games.
I think Freddie's just sick. It's either COVID or something else. So he's going to be back
probably again. Freddie's got to eat more vitamins or something. He's falling apart.
Well, that's what happens when you become a Canadian.
Yeah, like Bart, you're come before around Siakam getting 70 assists. Like other guys were still getting assists as well, right?
I know.
Now on the offense, I'm checking the stats here. Like we don't have any assists.
You know what? That's a good little betting tip. But we should go under assists on everyone tonight, Kitch. It's true. We don't. Our assist lines are terrible.
Oh, it's just terrible.
All right, I'm gonna look into that.
That's a bad cheer. That's a bad cheer of the game. Under assists.
Oh, no assists means no buckets.
Yeah. Or isolation.
Yeah, everything's isolated. Yeah, I agree. Everything's
Gary
isolated.
Trent for 40 and you'll win.
Well, that's all we have. We don't have fucking anyone who can penetrate and kick the ball. And if we do kick it out, we don't have any shooters.
OG, baby. Oh my.
Just quickly, a little preview of tonight's game. I mean, so the Heat are playing a ton of 2-3 zone, right, against everybody. I think that's for them to make up for their defensive inefficiencies. I think, oh my God. I mean, I've already bet the Raps to win this game tonight, but it could be a slugfest. Like, I don't know. I mean, who's going to shoot the ball for us? I mean, we didn't talk about OG at all today, which is fine. We talked about him enough. He's playing okay, but I hate to say it, he's the only guy I kind of trust taking a 3 right now.
Yeah,
and maybe Malachi
for sure.
I love how OG. He's so strong. He just backs in everybody. His back just takes his butt and runs everybody over.
How about that dunk?
Oh yeah, that was some
nice.
Anger.
That was nice.
We gotta hope Adebayo's out tonight. We gotta hope they still got him on the bench.
We gotta hope that a lot of things.
What's the spread? Spread, boys. Spread.
Raps are getting 1 when I bet them.
I think it's 1.5 now,
and it's 216.5. I mean, I love the under, but I can't bet it. But I love the under.
216 is so light in this league. Holy cow!
I know, but we cannot score. Neither the Heat aren't great scoring the bath. I'm telling you, this game's going under.
They got Adebayo out, and Hero's not. He's not even on the plane. He's not coming. So they got those 2 guys out. Hero.
I didn't know that.
Oh, Hero's not even on the plane. He didn't even come on the trip.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, that changes my whole outlook.
Yeah,
I will now bet more on the Raptors. Yeah, now I like the Raptors. Here's their engine. Lowry sucks. I might boo him tonight.
Okay, wait. I know it's a different topic. Thank God we didn't sign him. Oh my God.
Well, listen.
Remember everyone? Sign him to a 4-year. He's a Raptor for life. It's like, no, move on.
You know what? You got to we Belichicked him, and that's exactly
Miami hates him. Oh my God,
that's such an albatross. And they got him for 1 more year at $30-something million. Like so he'll be traded. He's going to get traded next year, get expiring contract, so they'll get out of it. But still, it's lost. Like I know they're a game away from the finals last year. Had nothing to do with Lowry's play. It's an albatross for them. And next year they're going to hate it. Hate
Like
it.
30. What could you done with 30 million? You could have got a really good player. Like
Oh.
3 years, 90 million.
I liked it better 3 or 4 months ago when Precious actually had some court time and played all right. And
I know.
Thad Young was maybe a potential. But
Well, Precious, and he's out for a while, I think.
yeah,
That's not a good injury.
oh,
It's not a good injury, which is too. Yeah. Anyways, all right. Listen, we got to move on. Producer John's got to go. We still have shit to do. Where we at? Is it right to backyard?
Yeah.
Yeah, right to backyard. Here we go. Let's go, Kitch.
all right. Backyard gambling. It was a pretty good week for the U2 clowns. Not for me, as based on my Vegas cash flow coming home.
I don't know about the clown comment, Deno, but that's
Bart had San Fran over the Chargers -7, which we're going to talk about my bad beats, and that was definitely one of the better. So that was a loss. Then Pittsburgh over New Orleans. Yes, that was a win. And then a lock with the Giants over Houston -5. They won by 6.
lock.
6.
Lock it up.
That was a lock.
Now, can I say something? I now have 2 segments of my bet. I mean, I have my locks obviously still because those are pretty much money in the bank. And then I'm now each week I'm going to give you an off the grid pick like the Steelers were last week. That was off the grid. Nobody liked it. That was like, your comments were, you're telling me you're going to bet the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Bart,
that's what you said on the pod.
Bart, he said no one cared. No one cared. No one cared.
Fucking free fucking money. That's what that was.
Oh
So
my God.
Marco's
Bart.
2-1, record of
Bart,
6 and
that's great
6,
for you. That's
2
great
2
for
on the locks. He's
Nice.
back in there. Deno had Carolina Atlanta under 42.5. That was a winner. That's a low scoring game. Giants Houston under 40.5. Stopped at 40. So yes,
Easy
for the
money.
half.
Easy money.
And then Cleveland Miami under 49. I think Miami almost scored 49. So that was not a winner. So 2-1 for Deno, up to 6 and 6, right in there.
Boy, Deno. Oh, boy.
Kitch, his first pick was the angle. The Josh Allen's not going to play and they're not going to score many points angle. Well, Josh Allen did play, and that kind of went a little bit over 45.5. That game of the year. So that was a definite loss.
You know what? That would have been a great game to be in Vegas Sportsbook for.
Oh,
We were there. We were in the Westgate Sportsbook watching that. It was
You guys hung out at the Westgate.
for the second half of the first one of the morning games.
all for you, Bart. All for you.
All for you, Bart. It was your trip.
Now we're not going there. Now we're not going.
That's got to be the
You're
Obi.
welcome.
All right,
You're
We're
welcome.
not going to that dump. Oh my God, Bart, you would have been so disappointed with that place.
Bart, you
tell
wouldn't complain
Slacker-
though, Bart. You wouldn't complain, right? When you're there.
Well, it sounds like it. Slacker, whose opinion obviously I trust and value. He was like, "Listen," he's like, "Kitch was bang on." He's like, and he said, "I cemented my view of the place when I went to the bathroom."
Yeah.
So, that's not a good sign. That's not a good sign.
Yeah, the bathroom had not been clean in a couple of days.
Oh,
For a 2,000 seat sports book, the bathroom had not been clean.
the Westgate is dead. All right, go ahead.
So that was I go back there. I was back with you guys. Oh, came out a minute. One second. Okay, and then Giants Houston. No, that was Deno. Kitch Seattle Tampa Bay under 45.5, which was the stinker morning game, which I did not get up at 6:30 in Vegas to watch that one. And then my lock was the field over rushing yards. If you remember, that's what I said was a lock for the week. Since we can't bet this, I decided to bet Chicago over Detroit -3, which was actually a solid game of back and forth. But no, they did not cover. So Kitch went. I think Fields ran for 200 yards almost, and they went 1-2. Kitch goes 1-2. He's at 6 and 6. So the entire grouping is now tied at 6 and 6.
Oh, well, I guess does that default back to maybe we go progression or what's it called?
Retrogression.
Retrogression. So I'm still up first. That's bullshit.
Guys,
All right.
remember
You still be up first.
Remember last year? Was anyone even 500 last year? Not so like
I think I was. I think I was 500.
like 40% or something.
I was a leader.
All right, well,
Flip a coin.
are we ready? Here we go.
Yeah, we're ready. We're fire away.
So I'm going to start with just a basic vanilla pick, not off the grid, nothing special, no lock, but here we go. I'm going to stick with it. Patriots at home, give them 3
Oh yeah.
against the Jets, who they own.
It opened at 2.5 too.
This is.
Can you believe that?
I almost made it my lock, but I'm just making
Oh.
it's a rock solid, just your average run of the mill pick.
I love it. Love it.
Off the grid, a la the Steelers, off the grid. The Denver Broncos -2.5 at home against the reeling, quarterback crying Las Vegas Raiders.
Oh,
Did you see him after the game crying? Are you fucking kidding me?
I think
He's
Russell Wilson might be crying too, though. I think they both might be crying.
Well, listen, this is a I'm telling you right now, this should be a lock too. It's off the grid. No one cares about this game. I'm telling you, Denver is free money. I'm off the Raiders. They've cost me so much money. I'm done with the Raiders.
All right, time to bet the Raiders. Time to bet the Raiders.
Here we go. Are we ready? I'm going right back to the well, boys. Lock. Right back. I might lock them up the rest of the season if it's like this.
Yeah, that's what you do. That's what you do.
Giants -3 at home to the horrible Detroit Lions football club. Are you kidding me? Why is that line 3? That makes no sense.
That actually makes no sense. That's bad news, Bart.
It makes. I know.
Trust me, Detroit's Jekyll and Hyde. Detroit looked solid last week.
The Giants are solid. They're solid at home. They find ways to win. It's 3. If it was 5.5, like it was, I would feel very differently about it. But the field goal game, I'm in on the lot. Lock it up.
Bart, I thought you were going to pick Minnesota. Like, Minnesota's a dog at home against Dallas.
I know. I did look at 3? That. I did look at that. And it opened. They opened as a favorite, and that went right away. It went to them becoming underdog.
Is there an injury?
No, it's just the betting public loving Dallas. Like, the betting
that's
public
all
just
it is.
does. Yeah.
And no one believed in Minnesota.
I tell you.
All right, Deno, you're up.
I'm thinking of taking Minnesota. No, I'm not. I'm not going against my unders. All right, mix it up, Kitch. 3 unders coming your way. We got some very boring football games. That Giants game. Take that one under. I got it at 45.5, Bart.
Yeah, it still is.
I'll take Bart's Pittsburgh Steelers under 50. I like their defense. I like their defense lately. Getting healthy.
I agree.
Watt's back.
You know what? That's way too high. You're right.
Yeah, Watt's back. Yeah, Watt's back. I'm sure it'll end at 70. And then Chicago, Atlanta.
Wait. Pittsburgh's
sorry.
Pittsburgh's
That's
under
41. 41.
50.
I tried to sneak it in there, boys. You guys wrote it down.
9 free points.
You guys wrote it down.
Teaser?
I'll take Pittsburgh under 75 this week too.
And then I can't read my own writing. Chicago, Atlanta is the 50-pointer.
You're going under on that?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yep.
Okay.
Track meet.
Too much points.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
Track meet. Y'all suck.
All right. I'm gonna go back in the lead with these picks. I really feel good about myself this week. Tennessee, Green Bay. I'm doing the under, like Bart would. I'm gonna ride the down to under 41 in that game.
Thursday night too. Yeah.
It's a Thursday night stinker. That
Yeah.
always you come out with a Thursday night stinker. I'm shocked you weren't on that one.
Can I change mine?
No, you're locked in.
Once you're in,
Locked in.
yeah, it's locked in
Okay.
too late.
Under 41. Rogers won a game last week, so now he doesn't have to care for another 3 or 4 weeks.
Nice empathy, guys. No, too late. Screw you.
No liquid paper.
No.
You cannot liquid paper out of this.
Card played is card laid. Card laid is card played.
Yeah, I think that's the way it works. Yeah.
I'm gonna take the bounce back game here. The Buffalo Angry Bills over Cleveland minus the 8 at home in Buffalo. I think they win by 25.
Roll
in the bounce back game.
Barrel.
I don't know. I don't know, or so. I don't know.
And I'm gonna take Pittsburgh coming off a victory. They don't want to win. They don't want to win with this squad. They got a rested Cincy team coming in to play them. Cincy -4 over the Pittsburgh Steelers. That's a lock as well. I love these picks. These are golden this week.
Yeah.
Sounds like 1 and 2 to me.
But it's funny, the Cincy one too. I looked at it and it's like, well, why is that line only 4? Something's not right there. That doesn't make sense to me. Because obviously I'm not going to touch that game, but I would bet Cincy if I was betting it. But -4, something's not right. Something's not right. Just telling you, watch out for that one.
Watch out. Yeah.
Watch out. Careful, John.
Watch out for the NFL.
Deno, you don't know this, but producer John, also a gambler. We learned that today. He liked my picks last week. Thought I won all 3. But John, I'm telling you right now, be weary of the Bengals -4. Leery, not weary. Be leery, not weary. Don't be weary. Be leery.
When someone likes your picks, you must be paying him. Oh, you are paying him. Okay.
Yeah, true. Good point. John, well, you know what? That makes John a very smart employee.
That's true.
All right. What drives? Kitch.
Can we go back? Can we keep on gambling for a bit and talk about our Vegas trip?
We don't have time. I thought it was going to be AOB. All right, go ahead quickly.
Vegas. This was a Vegas probably a tough gambling bet. It was a bad beat weekend in football. Oh my God, there was some horrific beats in football this week. So I'm going to give you the ones we were heavily invested in. The Georgia first half. That was it. They got a lock. They're punting from their own end zone, or basically the 1 yard line. They kick it to the 50, and it's just they've got it covered for the half. It's the last play of the half, and the guy runs it all the way back for a touchdown. Runs a punt return back for a touchdown to nip our halftime bet in that. That was a bad beat. The Bills, we were all in the Bills pre the Josh Allen news, so -3.5. We're like, all right, let's just get the ball to the end zone, and that's a winner.
Can you believe that? Can you fucking believe that game?
I can't believe
Incredible.
they fumbled that ball.
But you know what? How about the catch by Jefferson?
Oh,
like I have a snapshot. I sent it to Stover yesterday because Stover was saying he's just got to knock the ball down. I agree that he does it. However, if you watch the still shot of it, the defender has two hands on the football. He's got two hands. And he is basically, and Jefferson is basically parallel with the ground as he rips the ball from the guys. I actually think it's better than the Odell catch. I really do.
Tougher catch.
Yeah. Although the catch of the weekend was the Notre Dame game. There was a catch. So if you haven't Googled it, Google the Notre Dame catch. He catches the ball behind the receiver's back with one hand.
I did see it. Yeah, I did.
Like
that was pretty good.
Around, and he's got the ball caught with one hand behind the defender's back. Behind the defender's back. So
Jefferson's better than that.
That was impressive. And then to wrap up, Bart, which you lost your pick on too, San Fran, like first and go from the one to cover the spread. Just punch it in. Just punch it in.
That was incredible. Like I'm just sitting there going, "Are you kidding me? Like how do they not score it?" Like that was bad.
We were on the wrong side of all those bets. We were on the wrong side. And there's a couple more. I won't bore you.
So overall, everyone down money on the trip, other than maybe Orso, other than Douchey Orso.
Maybe Orso because he bet soccer. He did well betting soccer.
Oh, well, he does. Actually, he's pretty good at that.
Yeah, he bet soccer, and he bet. Although he would have bet the Bills. I think Orso might have been all right. He bet Orso gambles 7 minutes a day, so he's probably the smartest one of the bunch of us.
He is smart that way.
Well, I'm sorry I missed it. Maybe next year for me, I'll make that trip. Maybe. All right, can we go to what drives? We got to go.
Sure.
Well, Kitch, you're up.
Oh, I'm up.
Yeah.
So what drives me crazy, and they have to put a rule in place for this. Gambling is a big sort of karma or momentum thing or mojo thing, and you're playing the game of craps, the dice game. For those people who don't know, we throw in the dice game, and some guys rolled fairly well for a little bit here, and he's got a lot of bets on the table, and he's got a bit of momentum going, and then some donkey walks up and just throws like bills on the table, knocks his chips over, can't make a bet, and the dice sit in the middle for like half an hour trying to sort this guy out. You should never be able to enter a game until the game is restarting itself. So when the puck goes off, or when you have a new roll, like a new come out roll or a new start, that's when you come in. There should be a rule in Vegas. You can't jump in halfway through a roll. It wrecks everything. The number of times you get a 7 out after that is 80%.
Well, you know what? I wouldn't go on any type of like famine type. When someone said, I can't think of my words. I'm so hungover. Like a protest. I wouldn't go on any famine protest, waiting for that to change. Vegas.
Bart, so
you never be able to get in the blackjack table.
Bart, so it's Saturday. Is it Saturday night, Kitch? Yeah. So Saturday night or Sunday night, whatever. So Kitch has an okay roll going. I think he's hit 2 numbers already, and then this donkey comes up with the hat on backwards and dumps it. Kitch, new dice. So he gets new dice, and the donkey does something again. New dice, right? It actually worked. It was actually a really good roll.
New dice worked like 5 rolls in a row. Soccer was really impressed. I was like, way to fight through it, Kitch. Way to fight through it. And this guy's oblivious. And he couldn't pile his chips. They kept falling over. And he was trying to pile, and then it was like he had like fumble hands. He was like Porter Jr. at the craps table. He was Porter Jr. at the craps table.
Worst job in the casino is being a rake on the craps. Like, those guys deal with so much shit. It's unbelievable. Half of us don't know what we're doing.
Yeah.
And you're putting your hands when you're not. Yeah, that's a shitty job. That's a shitty job.
Yep.
All right. Well, Kitch, we'll look for that rule to be implemented.
Yeah, that rule should be implemented because it's a killer. And even the dealers realize it. The dealers they try to hold people back. But
I mean, who knows? That guy could have been a casino employee. Have you ever seen the cooler?
Cooler.
Easily been the cooler.
He could have been the cooler. Yeah. He would be really good at his job if he was.
Yeah.
All right, Dano.
Well, mine is coming home from Vegas. Thank you, Air Canada. So, little brother and I, we head down.
Oh, you mean your COVID brother?
Yeah, we head down late Wednesday and come back Sunday. So Sunday flight home gets delayed. We're going, okay, but okay, it's delayed an hour and a half. Get in the plane. Figure everything's okay. They're ready to service. They're giving us our earbuds. We're on there for 2 hours. And they go, oh, it looks like this plane's not going anywhere. Our flight, our pilots are over their hours and stuff. So they go, yeah, like the flight's tomorrow. We're going, tomorrow? This is like a 500 seat plan, right?
So I was out of money 2 days ago.
Yeah, exactly. I can't go to the ATM, whatever. So anyways, like in the old days, they'd say, oh, we'll take care of your hotel and all this kind of stuff. It's like, you're on your own. Like we'll tell you some hotels to go to. And we heard afterwards they gave $40 for vouchers. $40 for vouchers. Nothing for the hotel or whatever. So people were staying in old Vegas. These people were telling me.
Were they casino vouchers?
No, they were not casino. Airport food only vouchers.
Well, since Dano slept on the couch in the suite, I'm pretty much sure he made $40 then. It was a win for him.
Think about $40 and get you I get you 2 things of M&Ms.
So what you went back to Caesars?
Yeah.
Well,
back to the
it was funny. They announced, they go, hey, if you have anywhere to go in Vegas, like just go. We're going. We got Kitchen Suite. Like we're going back to Kitchen Suite. Only about 5 people left. Everyone's like going, where are those guys going? They got family here. It's like,
oh great. So nice. Now I'm getting all the details. Maybe you shouldn't come to the game tonight. Yeah, Jesus, I didn't know this.
Yeah. So just Air Canada. Come on.
All right, quickly for me. Very simple. Just happened to me too. It's 2023. We all have phones. They have facial ID for everything. Any app out there that does not allow you to log in with a facial ID, fuck off. That is
whoa. That's aggressive.
That's ridiculous. Today NBA app. I couldn't log. I don't know why I had to relog in, but I did. I had to relog in. No facial ID recognition. Come on, NBA. That's crazy. Facial ID. Boom. I'm in.
Bart, if you had facial ID with your hangover, I don't think they'd let you in. I think it's not you. Look at your hair, Bart. Look at your hair. What happened?
I know. You know what happened? I was walking home last night after we stopped in at Moxie's for a nightcap, which was a nightcap ended up being 2 bottles of wine. Me and one other guy. I know. It was a disaster. And then it was snowing like crazy in Toronto at 1 a.m. last night, and my hair was soaked. I passed out in my bed with my soaking it, and this is what happens when my wet hair soaked. I know.
Yeah. So, Bart, going back to your facial recognition, and why doesn't it recognize my face? Like, if I drink a lot the night before, do I have a new face in the morning? Because I fail it a lot of times.
Yeah, that's a good question. But I still think the drunk app is still something we should create. Just your phone knows if you're too drunk. Just your phone should go on lock if you're too drunk.
Offshore betting accounts should for sure.
Oh my god, offshore betting. You know how many marriages would be saved? You did that shit too. Maybe that's not a good thing. I don't know. All right, listen, AOB, we gotta get out of here. I got a gym class to hit. I'm going to the 4 o'clock gym class.
Good for you. I'm not.
I know you're not.
I got one here. So AOB. So 2 weeks ago, Philadelphia is playing Houston. I'm going. Philly can't go 9-0 or 10-0. Like they got to lose sooner or later. So I bet Houston cover, Houston to win. What happens last night? The Commanders, right? Big spread. Yeah. Philly's not going to go 17-0. Like there was it was a big spread. Everyone should have been hammering the cover and win. Everyone was betting Philly.
Yeah, but he didn't think that was a game was going to turn for Philly. Like, there's got to be some better games that Philly's going to
You know what? Even you could have in-game that one knowing it was coming because, just that game, as soon as all those turnovers, it's like, okay, this is it. It's over.
They had, was it 2 or 3 turnovers?
Yeah.
The whole season?
Yeah.
That's impossible.
Yeah.
So.
All right, my AOB. It's been a bit of a trend here. I had the stuck in Atlanta, and then the fire ants, which my foot is still pretty scabbed up, but it doesn't itch anymore. So that's a good sign. So this week's debacle in the life of Kitch. So I'm coming down to watch the game with Bart tonight, and we're staying at the Ritz. So I come into the Ritz today. Excuse me, sir, do you have a reservation? I'm like, well, I'm pretty sure I do. She goes, well, I see one here for December 15th. But I don't see one for tonight. I'm like, So, of course, I go in my app, and my app says I got to renew my password. So I'm at the front desk trying to renew my password on the Marriott site to find out if I have a reservation. And I get here and I'm like, yeah, I don't have a reservation. I booked the December 15th game, which I think Dano and Slesser are planning to come to, but completely forgot to book the November stayover. So, meanwhile, I'm at the front lobby. And I can tell you, when you're at the front lobby desk and you're booking your room right there, you're not getting any deals. There's not really the discount deals you're getting at the lobby desk. So, yeah, 3 for 3. That's 3 for 3 for Kitchen the last 3 weeks. There's a trend happening here.
Well, I'll tell you what, my OB is not much better. The only reason why I'm here, I was humming and hawing last week, Hitch, whether or not I was going to be here, is because little Annie Bart, who we very rarely talk about in the pod, little Annie Bart, I thankfully has found a new passion called soccer, and it's good. It's going to help me get her away from the horses. I hope.
So if you can do that,
the kids and Becky leave Saturday to come to Bermuda because it's U.S. Thanksgiving, so they get the break. And we booked this like months ago. Well, little did we know that this week has turned into Annie's soccer's playoff week, which we had no idea there were even playoffs. It's a fucking rec league that no one gives a shit about. Yeah, exactly. Playoffs. I'm just trying to get on a plane. So when we figured this out, I was like, shit. So we told him, we're like, Annie, listen, bad news. If your team makes the finals, like you're going to miss it because we're going to, and honestly, without using these words, it's the first time she's ever said, fuck you to me. She was like, no. It was just like, yeah, no, that's not happening. I'll be at that game if we're in the, I was like, oh, okay. And then so Becky and I talked about it, like, and we're like, if it was the boys, if it was, like, we wouldn't have done, like, so we were just like, okay, we can't drag her out of her championship game if she gets there now. So I'm sitting there going, well, shit, how are we going to do this? So anyways, we decide that Becky will take the boys regardless, which means I need to get back to Annie on Friday to go to her game Saturday and then run from her game to the airport to get on a different flight with Becky and the boys and hopefully get to Bermuda sometime Saturday night. So tonight is playoff game. If she wins, they play Saturday. If she loses, which is what I'm hoping for.
No.
Yeah, I am. I'm desperately. Becky will be updating me throughout and I'm like, please lose.
Bart,
I don't want to. Then on my life, it's a nightmare. I got to go back.
I want to bet you in the game. I will take Annie's team $20.
Oh, listen, they're going to win. I'm sure the first update is going to be 6-0.
Yeah, I can't wait.
Yeah, I know. And so
I'm cheering hard for this.
But in girls soccer at that age, they can come back. They can win 9-7.
Yeah. I got to fly out of here Friday afternoon to get there like at 9:00 Friday night to go to Annie's game at 9:30 and then to be back at the Hilton Head Airport at 12 p.m.
Why don't you fly out Thursday? What's today? Why don't you go home Thursday?
Okay. Do we understand my situation?
Oh, yeah, I do. Okay. All right. You kind of cut your days.
Okay. Right. Every hour counts.
Every hour counts. Every hour.
So that's why. Yeah. So I don't know what the hell's going on. But yes, I need there to be something bad tonight for Annie's team.
Or side bet $20. Are you in or out?
Yeah, I'll make the bet. Sure. I need something. Yeah.
Go Annie. $20 US.
You know what? Annie out of nowhere too. She's actually a decent little soccer player.
Well,
coming.
Wow.
Bart checked it back of her shirt. 4 letters, baby.
That's true. That is true. Get the letters. You're right. What was I thinking? Sorry. Yeah, you're right, Dano. Well, good catch.
Jesus.
All right, listen. I got to go. Orange Theory calls me.
Okay. All
right. Take it away, Kawhi.
Take it away, Kawhi.
Kawhi up top. Looks at the clock. Turns the corner for the win. Got it! Kawhi Leonard with the game winner!